What's going on, all you gamers? Here we are, back once again with some more Outriders, and today I'm going to be going over how you can level up your alts really fast. So if you need to gear up and level up your alts, kind of make your way through the campaign really fast, all the way to that endgame, and of course being able to go through the expeditions a bit faster as well, then stay tuned, that's coming up next. Welcome back, all you guys and girls, as always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, and of course a lot more Outriders along the way. Why not hit that subscribe and bell icon? I'll be bringing you all the latest and greatest in gaming and a lot more hints and tips. But for today, you're here to find out how you can level up your alts really fast, really nicely and really easily. Now obviously you will need a main character that you've kind of leveled up, geared up, and you're probably at expeditions, or you've done quite a few of the expeditions and made your way all the way up, and now you've decided to jump on another character to start a new class. Now there's some things that you can do to really make this easy. Now I would honestly say, if it's me, and because you've completely played through the storyline and you've seen everything, you've pretty much done everything, maybe you'll want to lower your world tier. Honestly, there is no harm in lowering your world tier just to make it through the campaign. Put it to world tier 1, put it world tier 2, 3, whatever you want to do. Whatever's the easiest for yourself, just to make it all the way through the game. I found for my second character, honestly, I knew exactly what was happening. I didn't really need to see the campaign stuff again, so I pretty much left it on world tier 2 or 3, I think. Didn't have any troubles. I don't particularly remember dying, and if I did, I probably lowered it even more. Now obviously you're not going to be getting the best loot, but you just want to progress to that end game to get yourself to the expeditions. Now you don't have to do that. If you want to just go at normal route, level it all the way up to tier 15, you very well can, but it will take longer. So decide for yourself if you want to take a bit more time, or if you just want to smash straight through the campaign and make it all the way to endgame fast. One thing to remember, so if I show you this fella just here, do not forget that this right here, your stashed items, are shared between all characters. This is actually really good for leveling up your alts and for just making things a little bit easier. Now obviously if you've got your main character and stuff's dropping from at gear level 50, your secondary character or third or fourth, whatever one you've decided to make, will not be able to wear it. However, all of the stuff that you deconstruct, so say for example I chuck this in here, so as you can see I've just put one of these in there, the iceberg. Now I'm going to go on to my alternate character. Right, so here I have Brick. He's going to be my earth guy, he's my devastator, and I'm going to go over to my loot, and I'm going to go straight to wherever that iceberg was, and as you can see I do not have Winter's Blast. But however, if I click that and dismantle it, any second there, just down the bottom there, you'll see that I actually got that mod. So you can chuck whatever you want into this kind of shared stash and put it on your character. That will make things much easier for them. They will level through the campaign ridiculously fast. They will not die. They will not lose world tiers if you're going up in tiers. You're just going to make sure that you're a little bit more geared up, you're a little bit better equipped for taking on all of those foes. So once you've smashed through that campaign, your alt is obviously going to end up here at your expeditions. Now there's a few tricks that you can do to help you really early on to kind of make your way through the expeditions. Now obviously if you do arrive here a little bit early, then you might be a little bit lower in level. So you might arrive here like level 27 or so. With that you're going to level as you go through the expeditions, don't worry. I would honestly say if you want to jump in with people, it may well work in your favour, may be a bit more fun, and if you need to do the solos a little bit later on, you may well be able to. But when you go up to the bench just over here, when you have a look for these, they will all be giving you times. So say for example I go to frontline, if I look under here, there'll be a little number just down here saying +1. The kind of earlier on the better and the easier it is. I believe it goes all the way up to bronze at the start. So basically as long as you complete these within that time frame, you will be going up in expedition level. As you start making your way up, it goes from gold to silver, and then finally at around 13 or 14 I believe, it goes straight to gold, meaning you've got to complete these standards to actually proceed to the next one. So if you want to hit that level 15 expedition, you have to be completing a few of them on gold near the end. Now to do that there's a few ways that are slightly easier, and again it does go back to mods. I would say one mod definitely stands out for me, and that's this mod just here. Emergency Stance. Attain Golem Protective Effect for 4 seconds whenever your health drops below 30%. This mod is absolutely amazing for making sure you just don't wipe. You may be able to get away with not having it on your Devastator because he has kind of a built-in one on his skills, but if you're not using it, you may well still use this. On all other classes, I would definitely say chuck this on a piece of gear. You will not regret it. It has kept me more times alive than I can count. It is one of the best mods in the game and easily obtained just through deconstructing kind of those purple epic items. If you keep deconstructing them, you will get one of these. Chuck it on your build somewhere. You will definitely not regret it. Another thing to look at, if you are struggling when you're going up world tiers, it is usually because of one of two reasons. You are either not completing the expedition because you're dying, or you are not completing the expedition in a good time because you're just not killing fast enough. So what you've got to do is make sure that you're survivable enough to complete the expedition, but that you can also do a lot of damage. Now at the moment, I would honestly say if you just need to go up your expeditions, most time people are going gun builds. You can be doing anomaly builds, but until you've kind of got all of the right pieces for the puzzle as such, they just won't be as good. They're very hard to put together most times. They're more fun, I find, but for going up world tiers, you'll probably want to go gun build and just make your way through that way. Another reason for that is that you can get some really nice gun mods. So if you have a little look, and I've swapped back to my pyro because my other guy I've realised did not have much at all. So just over here you get things like this: Bloodlust. Killing shots increase your firepower by 17,505 and stacks up to 3 times. Deteriorates every 3 seconds. That will give you such a big bonus to your damage. It is absolutely unbelievable. If you duck into cover a lot because you're a little bit squishier, this one right here, increase your firepower by 48,910 when shooting from cover, and that's hidden and dangerous. There are a lot of mods in the firepower range that kind of help you really decimate your enemies really easily and really fast, making sure that you can kind of go up those tier ranks and probably get the silvers and golds a lot easier. Now another thing you can do on most builds other than the kind of Devastate is to do an anomaly gun build, basically maintaining your rounds at all times. Now I've got another guide out on that, so I won't go into that today, but nevertheless it is really good, and if you can make that build work, you will absolutely rise up the ranks a lot faster than you would have kind of normally without knowing about it. Finally, this one just here can really help you. I found for myself when I was rising up the ranks trying to make my way through the tiers as such, having this on, Damage Absorber, increases your armor by 52,000 and resistance by 10,000, really helped, along with the other mod for a bit of safety. That way you've got 2 defensive mods in this and the Golem, and then the rest just stack up with pure damage. That way you should be able to get a bit of viability about your build, and you should definitely be able to make your way through and probably get those golds. Now if you're struggling as well, what you want to do is probably put a bit of health leech on your gun if you're struggling to stay alive, or put a bit of crit or armor pierce if you need to finish things faster. Now finally, this last tip is actually really good, and that's gun juggling. Now if you're kind of doing really low damage, some of the mods on the weapons are absolutely amazing and do such a vast amount of damage, especially if your build isn't very much up to scratch at the start. So for example, one such mod which is really good is this one just there, Shadow Comet. If you can get that or anything similar to it that does a big chunk of damage, make sure you put it on. If you'll have a look, gun juggling, all it revolves around is, for example, say I had that, and then if I chuck another one on,
few moments later.
So say for example I had this one on, and the Shadow Comet has a 3-second cooldown, so does the one above. If on this one just down the bottom here I had another Shadow Comet, because it's got a 3-second cooldown, obviously I'm going to wait 3 seconds if I'm continually using that gun. If I am doing this however, and we'd like to call it gun juggling, so shoot the enemy, Comet's going to come down on their head, swap straight over to this one again. Every time you do that, it's going to proc that Comet. You're going to get an absolute abundance of damage from the actual mod, and it's just going to mean that you can wipe out enemies really fast. The only time you won't want to do this at lower levels is probably if you've got something like Storm Whip or something that's a 1 second cooldown. Then I almost definitely wouldn't bother, because it's going to take you about the same time to swap between both of them, so there's no real point. If it's a higher cooldown mod, definitely chuck on as much damage as you can, chuck on the mods and gun juggle to kind of massacre your foes and get a lot of extra damage really easy. Right, finally, and that's just over here at the table. I'm sure I've taken enough of your time, but I think this will actually help you. There are two that I found really quite easier to do because they were more achievable time-wise. I did struggle with my Devastator, I'm not going to lie. The ones I ended up finding was the best for time-wise to get silvers and golds was just over here, Scorched Lands. This one is amazing. If you click on that one, you can see that you actually get 23 minutes to get a gold. It's really reasonable. The enemies are very tough, but you can kind of plan it out a little bit. And for making your way up the ranks, I found this one was second to none. Just over than that is this one just here, and unfortunately I can't show you the time on it because I don't have it at the moment. If I remember correctly, I think it's about 14 minutes or so, maybe even 15, and Archways of Enoch is definitely up there for the ones you'll want to try to kind of progress in tier level. I found these two the best myself. I will find others better. There is this one over here, which is Boomtown. That one I believe is about 6 minutes. Early on it might be really good for progressing because you're going to be able to do them faster and you'll be able to hit that silver or bronze level to kind of go up in ranks. As you start to make your way up, this one will become ridiculously tough. Stay clear of it, go on to the two I said. Right, all you guys and girls, I hope that's helped a few of you out. I know it's stuff that I wish I knew earlier on, and I think it should help you all out quite a lot. So, as always, I hope that's helped. Take care. I'll see you on next day.